from Rose Public School, Suryali. So, we are now going to start the chapter Diverse Natural Resources. In the previous session, we had complete the content, that is land use pattern. So, now today we are going to understand the content soil. Basically, what are the not only today we are not going to touch the types of soil. One thing is this: we only try to understand what is soil and what are the factors that are basically responsible for its formation, for the formation soil formations. Okay, so it's a very short content and it's a very important content. So I have a request to listen and try to understand it in a do not hear the video in a haste. Take your time and hear the things very properly. Now I'm going to start it. Soil is basically, it's a loose material. It's a loose material because simply it's a very loose material. It is considered to be a very loose material. Then basically, and then it also consists of organic and inorganic substances. And basically it provides the medium for the growth of plant. Again, I am going to explain. It could be much beneficial for you to frame the definition of soil. That soil is a loose material. It consists of organic or inorganic substance. It provides the medium for plant growth. Besides that, it also provides food, shelter and clothing. Got it? So this is very easy for us to frame the definition of soil. So now the next thing is that how the soil is formed. Basically, the formation of soil is basically depends upon so many factors that we are going to touch and that are basically to be relevant to the formation of soils. That are the type of soil that got to be generated, and secondly the topography of soil, availability of plants and animals, then your time, then weathering conditions and the climatic conditions. All these things are basically, they are collectively responsible for the formation of soil. The formation of soil is a very it's a slow process. It's a very slow process, and basically the soils is the agents that are basically responsible for the formation of soils are known to be of weathering or denudations. These are the basically I would like to explain about them in the next phase of the contents, but so far you only have to understand, like suppose करो in very simple word, बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो कि सॉइल को फॉर्म करने में अपना योगदान देती हैं. समय है, topography, I already have told you, I'm not going to explain the meaning of topography. Topography of the area, that also depends the formation of soil, because you would have found the variation in the soil that is to be found in mountainous region, the soil that is to be found in your plateau region, the soil that is to be found in your plain region, and the soil that is to be found in your coastal region. So the variations that we had observed in these different types of soil just only because of the topography of land. Is that clear? So you may have in a very simple manner, हम लोग गांव में रहते हैं, तो हम लोग गाँव में भी हम लोग बहुत सारी चीज़ें बोलते हैं, यार ये मिट्टी जो है ये फलानी फसल के लिए बड़ी उपयोगी है, ये मिट्टी फलानी फसल के, यार फलानी वो वाली वैसी जगह जो होती हैं वो एक पर्टिकुलर उस प्लांट्स के लिए ज़्यादा सुटेबल है, ये वाली उस फ्रूट के. सो ऑल दिस वेरिएशन and basically the reference of the categorization of the soil is basically depends upon their characteristic features. They are basically varied because of the topography. The one thing is this. Okay, is that clear? Now second thing was your type of soil that has also to be considered in this. Okay, this is the last part that is to be we would discussed about it. Okay, topography of land, is that clear? Now second is availability of plants and animals. Basically the availability of plants and animals, where we would have found the maximum amount of organic substances, the contents of, where the contents of organic substances are found in high percentage. Naturally it means to say that that particular soil is enriched with humus nutrient, and you know that humus nutrient is very beneficial, and beneficial especially for the growth of plants. So there is some part of the soil, there are some soils which are quite very enriched in the humus nutrient, enriched with the humus nutrient. Okay, so that is also the variation, that is also the reason for the variations. ठीक है, यहाँ पे फॉरेस्टिज्म ज़्यादा होगा तो नेचुरली वहाँ की मिट्टी में आपको ह्यूमस न्यूट्रिएंट्स जो है वो ज़्यादा देखने को मिलेगा. हम खेतों में जब भी हम आजकल आपने देखा होगा मकई की अभी हम बिजाई करेंगे, ठीक है, तो देखा ना खेतों में हम गोबर मल जिसे बोलते हैं अपनी लोकल लैंग्वेज में, उसको हम टोकरे में उठा के हम लोग अपने खेतों में फेंकते हैं. ठीक है, बेसिकली बिकॉज दैट इज उसमें ह्यूमस न्यूट्रिएंट है. ठीक है, वो न्यूट्रिएंट जो है दैट इज बेसिकली सपोर्ट्स द ग्रोथ ऑफ प्लांट, isn't it? So that is how the things got to be understand. Is that clear? ठीक है, तो कुछ मिट्टी होगी, अब जिन खेतों में वो चीज़ ज़्यादा दी होगी, मतलब ये जो गोबर है, जो ऑर्गेनिक खाद वगैरह प्रोवाइड की होगी, वहाँ पे प्लांट्स का जो वो एक अलग तरह से देखने को मिलेगा हमें. वी वुड हैव सीन द इंक्रीज इन द जाइल्ड ऑफ क्रॉप. ठीक है, बट वेयर, लेकिन कुछ खेत ऐसे होंगे यहाँ पे कई लोगों ने उतनी ज़्यादा उनको मतलब ह्यूमस न्यूट्रिएंट्स अपनी अवेलेबल सॉइल को प्रोवाइड नहीं किया होगा, तो वहाँ पे प्लांट्स जो हैं उनका जो अवेलेबिलिटी है, वो उनका जो प्रोडक्शन है वो नेचुरली कम होगा. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स वी कुड एबल टू कंपेयर द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स. ठीक है, वाई आवर ऑब्जर्वेशंस. गॉट इट? सो दिस इज हाउ यू आल्सो हैव टू डू द कोरिलेटिव way to understand the things. Do not go just after what the book says. Okay, the book has a particular frame to make you understand the content. What it is on you that to make it is good for you to understand the things by moving yourself out from your room and just watch out. Okay, how in your surroundings the things moves around. Okay, how the things got to be played. Okay, how the things were basically revolving. Okay, so that is the good way or a better way to understand the things. Okay, so because you are maximum students are from the rural areas, so it is good for you to understand these things. That variation of soil, you better to go somewhere else. आप अलग-अलग fields में जाइए अपने घर के और वहाँ पे देखिए कि यहाँ की मिट्टी कैसी है, उस मिट्टी में क्या है. Just try to make it understandable. ठीक है, the things. The one thing is that then comes time. Time is relevant to the maturity of soil. As I have told you that the soil is a very slow, the formation of soil is a slow process. It does not take place in a day or a 2 day or 3 days or a week or a month or a year. It consumes a lot of years. It consumes a lot of time. The specific characteristic features that we had found or observed in the soil that generally found in it, or its time is basically refers to the maturity of soil. Is that clear? It refers to the maturity of soil. It's a very easy way to make it understandable that it's only time has a relation with the soil. Related to the time's relations with the soil is related to its maturity. Okay, got it? So that is the one thing. Now, besides that, the formation of soil has also been bifurcated. Bifurcated, it means divided in different layers. Topsoil, then subsoil, then your weathering, and then your parent rock. ठीक है? So all these are basic are also being factorized in different layers. Now the first is, what is topsoil? When we are talking about the topsoil, the layer, now these are the layers, the topsoil, subsoils, got it? This is parent rock, okay, and the bathering. These all are the, we are factorizing them into the your topsoil, subsoil. These are the layers of the soil, formation of soil, okay. So the very first layer, topsoil. Topsoil is rich in humus. I already had explained. Okay. Topsoil means the uppermost part of the layer. The uppermost part of the layer. That is called topsoil. Okay. The word itself reflects the meaning of this term. Okay. The topsoil. Is that clear? Okay. Top means ऊपर वाली, सबसे ऊपर layer, यानी कि जो हमारे को observe हो रही है, which we are seeing, ठीक है, which we are observing, which we are using. ठीक है, that is topsoil. So topsoil is basically consists of humus. ठीक है, why humus? I already had explained. Humus is a nutrient that supports the plant, growth of plant. Got it? So topsoil is basically enriched with the humus nutrient. Then second is subsoil. Subsoil is basically, it helps us, subsoil means the inner portion, the middle portion of the soil. Okay, beneath the topsoil, okay, that portion is, we call it subsoil. So subsoil consists of sand, silt, clay, and it also holds moisture. Is it clear? Subsoil consists of sand, silt, clay, ठीक है, and it also holds the moisture. ठीक है, so that is how we call subsoil. ठीक है, this condition is that this layer of the soil is known as subsoil. Then climate. Climate is the other part that we have not to be considered that it is a layer of the soil. It is not layer of the soil, but it basically being categorized to as it differentiate, and it basically played a big role, especially in differentiate the characteristic features that we have observed in the different types of soils. So for that purpose, the climate has a very important role to be played, and in the climatic in the climatic term, we could need to understand that weathering and denudation, these are the processes. Weathering and denudations, these are the two processes that are to be managed or controlled by or comes under the climatic conditions. Now I would explain it in a very easy form, because you are not going to be study about these two agents in a detail in this class. So what I would just make you understand, so that it would better for you people to understand the things. जैसे वेदरिंग होती है, जैसे वेदरिंग और डेनुडेशन हो गया, जैसे वेदरिंग हो गया आपका, क्लाइमेटिक वेदरिंग हो गया, जैसे गर्मी आती है, जब गर्मियाँ आती हैं तो क्या होता है कि कोई भी रॉक हो, कोई भी चीज़ जो चाहे वो सॉलिडिफाइड में है या जिस भी फॉर्म में है, उसमें एक्सपेंशन होता है. ठीक है, सो गर्मियों में एक्सपेंशन और सर्दियों में कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. ठीक है, नाउ पीरियडिकली व्हेन दिस एक्सपेंशन एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस पीरियडिकल expansion, the process of this expansion and contractions that loses the solidified of all the all the particles that are attached in the rock. Okay? They start losing their grip because of the expansion and the contractions, and this expansion and contraction is caused due to the climatic conditions. ठीक है, अब कुछ जगह ऐसी होंगी वहाँ पे ठंड ज़्यादा होती है, तो यानी कि वहाँ पे कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ज़्यादा होता है, वहाँ के रॉक की अवेलेबल जो रॉक पार्टिकल्स हैं उनमें जो है कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ज़्यादा होता है. वहाँ पे एक्सपेंशन कम होता, तो नेचुरली बात है वहाँ पे उस तरह से वो लूजिंग जो होगा वहाँ की सॉइल का एक अलग तरह का प्रोसेस से निकलेगा। कुछ इलाके ऐसे होंगे जहाँ पर जो है गर्मी ज़्यादा पड़ती है। अब जहाँ पे गर्मी ज़्यादा पड़ती है यानी कि वहाँ पे एक्सपेंशन ज़्यादा मात्रा में होता है और कॉन्ट्रैक्शन जो है वो लिमिटेड फॉर्म में होता है। सो दिस एक्सपेंशन एंड द कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस, नाउ एक्सपेंशन एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्शन बेसिकली टू बी कॉज्ड बाय द विंटर और द समर, ठीक है, दैट कैरीज द प्रोसेसेस ऑफ दिस एजेंट्स, ठीक है ना। तो अब क्या हो गया, एक्सपेंशन और कॉन्ट्रैक्शन जब रेगुलरली हो रहा है तो जब आप एक्सपेंड हो रहे हो, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो रहे हो, एक टाइम आता है वो लूज होना शुरू हो जाते हैं, एंड व्हेन दे स्टार्ट लूजिंग दे आर डिसइंटीग्रेटेड, और समय के साथ वो टूट जाते हैं। सो दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव आल्सो एक्सप्लेन्ड दैट टाइम इज रेलिवेंट टू द मैच्योरिटी ऑफ सॉइल। इज दैट क्लियर, ठीक है ना। मैच्योरिटी ऑफ सॉइल, इसीलिए ये जो सब प्रोसेसेस हैं ये ऐसा नहीं है कि अब रॉक फॉर्म्ड हुआ है उसको भी टाइम लगा है, अब वो रॉक जो है वो डिसइंटीग्रेट हो रहा है, वो छोटे छोटे उसमें बन कणों में द्वारा आ रहा है ड्यू टू एक्सपेंशन एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्शन, तो दैट वुड आल्सो टेक सम टाइम। सो these are the processes, these are the long time consuming exercises, ठीक है, of the climatic conditions, ठीक है, but this is how they were playing their role, ठीक है। then in the denudation process में क्या आता है, denudation process में आता है जैसे आपका विंड है, अब एक पत्थर है उसमें एक्सपेंशन कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हुआ, रॉक डिसइंटीग्रेट हो रहा है धीरे धीरे, वो आप कभी किसी पत्थर को उठाना, ठीक है, और कण आपको छोटे छोटे कण वो नजर आएंगे गिरते, ठीक है, अब वो कण नीचे गिर गए, हवा आई, हवा उन कणों को उठा के ले जाएगी एक जगह से दूसरी जगह। हो सकता है वो रॉकी जो पार्टिकल है वो किसी फॉरेस्ट एरिया में चले जाए, अब जब वो वहाँ पे फॉरेस्ट एरिया में चला जाएगा तो वहाँ पे ह्यूमस न्यूट्रिएंट जो है वो उसके साथ अटैच हो रहा है। नाउ समय के साथ क्या हो रहा है, ड्यू टू द क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस, क्लाइमेटिक प्रोसेस एंड ऑल दैट प्रोसेस, अब वो दोनों पार्टिकल्स जो है वो आपस में अटैच हो गए, समय के साथ अटैच, तो वो जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर आ गई वो उस कण में समा गई। Is that clear? So this is how the things got to be happen. This is how the features were attached with each others. Is that clear? I hope you would have cleared the content by hearing these things. Okay. Anyway, if you have any doubt, you can ask me at any time. So now the thing is, one thing is this: wind and water. ठीक है, नदी का पानी फ्लो करता है, ठीक है, नदी का पानी फ्लो करता है और वो अपने साथ कितने कणों को लेके चला जाता है, बहा के लेके जाता है, ठीक है। अब वो कण जो है वो नदी के पानी के साथ बहते 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 कहाँ किनारे किनारे में लगते जाते हैं। अब आप चक्की देखते हो तो अभी आपको देखते हो जब आप नेरे से नीचे जाओगे तो चक्की कितनी डाउन नजर आती है। हो सकता है कोई सदियों से, कोई लाखों करोड़ों साल पहले शायद हो सकता है इसकी काफ़ी ऊंची हो, ठीक है, हो सकता है कोई एक ऐसा टाइम भी होगा जब ये छोटा बहुत नाला ही होता हो, ठीक है, समय के साथ इतना एक्सपैंड हो गया, ठीक है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, ठीक है ना। सो तो क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस जो है तो पानी जो है वो उनको बहा के ले जा रहा है, उन पार्टिकल्स को अपने साथ एक जगह से दूसरी जगह बहा के ले जा रहा है। अब वो जो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह उसको बहा के लेके जा रहा है तो वहाँ पे जो फीचर्स, जो दूसरी जगह की सॉइल के फीचर्स होंगे जब उसके साथ अटैच होंगे तो वो एक अलग फीचर्स क्रिएट करेगा। So that is how they are developing a different characteristic features, ठीक है, and in different places in a different way, ठीक है। So that is how that is why we are classifying them the different forms of soil, ठीक है। In the next session you would going to be studied about that. So this is I hope you would have understood it, ठीक है। So climate has the two processes, weathering and denudation. In weathering, the expansion contraction process, and in the denudations, the wind, water. When we have water means flowing of water through rivers, ठीक है, or you can also say rain, ठीक है, your the forms of rain, चाहे वो स्नो में हो चाहे जिस फॉर्म में भी हो। अब आप कभी बारिश हो रही होगी तो आप किसी पत्थर के ऊपर नंगे पांव खड़े हो जाना, अब आप देखना जब ऊपर से जब बूंदें पड़ती हैं, अब वो इतनी स्पीड से जब वो बूंद आ रही है, जब वो पड़ रही है बाय फोर्स, जब वो उस पत्थर के ऊपर पड़ रही है तो यू वुड स्टार्ट एक्सपीरियंसिंग अ वेरी स्मॉल पार्टिकल्स, you will start experiencing a presence of small particles, very small particles that are basically to be perished in your foot, ठीक है ठीक है, ये आप एक्सपीरियंस करके देखना, देन यू वुड इजीली एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट हाउ द डेनोडेशन प्रोसेस गॉट टू बी हैपेंड। ठीक है, तो एक ये दो एजेंट्स हैं जिसकी वजह से इस तरह से सॉइल फॉर्म होती है। ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ द सॉइल गॉट टू बी फॉर्म। तो ये आ गया। देन कम्स योर पेरेंट रॉक। बेसिकली इन द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ लेयर्स ऑफ द सॉइल, ठीक है, सो this climate and the parent rock, they are supporting the characteristic features got to be developed in different types of soils, ठीक है, or the different or the things that are basically to be generated in the different layers of the soil, ठीक है, so that features are basically being found because of this parent rock, and the weathering are responsible for it. Now parent rock is basically, we also have seen a lot of diversification, especially the scientists, they are very easily, okay, it became very easy for them to identify the type of soil, and they identify it through its color, texture, okay, and the mineral compositions. Different soils are basically, they are absorbing a different color or different textures, and they have a different potential to carry the different types of mineral. Okay. The mineral composition has not been found in equal proportion in every type of soil. No, it is completely differ. Okay. It is completely different. The different types of soils have the different capacity to carry the mineral compositions. They are carrying the different types of minerals, or the quantity of the minerals is varied. Got it? ठीक है, तो this is basically on the parent rock. Now what are parent rock? Basically the parent rock, you know, the rocks are basically of three types: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So igneous rock is said to be a parent rock, ठीक है, because sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks are generated from this igneous rock. So basically the igneous rock is the basic form of rock. Actually I think I don't know whether you have a knowledge or not. The rock is basically, igneous rock is basically to be extracted out from the volcanoes, from the lava, from the molten materials that extract out from the volcanoes. Okay, and when that molten material got to be cooled, okay, it take a form of igneous rock. Okay, and afterwards through weathering processes, through climatic expositions, okay, all these things, these igneous rocks was disintegrated, and that is how gradually it took a lot of time, a million of years, okay, they had been consumed by it in absorbing the different characteristic features. So this is how the whole things got to be worked out. Okay, is that clear? So this is the formation of soil. So today we have touched the content formation of soil. Okay, I hope you would have understood it. Okay, and I'm also going to give you one question related to it. Okay, so you better to do it, and please, when you are sending me a homework, write down your name, your class and section. Okay, write your name, class and section. ठीक है, it is very mandatory for you to written over it. ठीक है, written on it. ठीक है, thank you very much. Have a nice day.